Hi, this is Julie. Welcome back to my channel. Um, this is probably going to be one of the hardest videos that I ever have to do. My secretary said she had texted her and she didn't text her back, which is not like Brittany. She's very social. She loves to talk. She loved to text. Like, that's just who she was. She loved people. She loved the people that she loved. And I never felt like she didn't love me. I always felt like she was a very hurt soul, like deeply hurt, you know. And from the time she walked in my house to the time she left, Brittany had come a long way. And it was so funny because I remember when she first came to the house, we happened to be fasting then, and me and the kids. So we would get up, and I know my kids hated me, but I know they understand now that they're older. But we would get up in the morning, like at 5 o'clock before school, and we would get up and we would read and we would say confessions. And we can talk about this in another video, but we would pray together every morning before they went to school. And I remember her telling me, she was like, Mama, when I first came to the house, I was like, what is wrong with this lady? She's crazy. Like, what are we doing? Because they came right in the middle of the, I think we were doing like a 21-day fast, and they came like right in the middle of it. So, you know, we were doing, I had them doing the same thing that we were doing, because now they were my kids. It's just what it was. So we were fasting and praying, and you know, we would have like Bible studies and talk a lot, you know. And I'm big on showing my children the practical side of God. Now, before she had her surgery to have the tumor removed in her leg, she told me she had prayed and she was okay and she felt at peace. And the surgeon did an amazing job, and it was so crazy because we prayed about it, and from the time we got to the hospital until we left, like, everything just went so smooth. Another surgeon actually called and canceled his surgeries, which allowed her surgeon to have more time in the, you know, in the suite that they were doing her surgery in. So she was able to be there longer. She didn't have to rush. You know, and I was telling her, I was just like, God worked everything out. It was so good, you know. She had a filter to, you know, filter any blood clots that she may have had. They took it out. She had a port here, and they removed that. You know, and this was after she had, you know, everything was looking good. So the last time that they talked, she was fine. And my son said he hadn't talked to her in a while. Well, last Monday, I was supposed to take my grandson to, take my daughter to take my grandson to his checkup. And I had already called my principal and told him I was going to be late, and I was getting ready, and I heard my phone, the notification go off. And when I looked at the phone, I could see it was going off. And I could see that it said, Brittany just passed away. And I was like, I know that didn't say what I just think it said. And I opened it up, and that's what it said. And I immediately called her dad. And I said, what do you mean? She was sick? And he said, yes, I had to go pick her up. I'm sorry, y'all. My heart is beating really hard. I had to go pick her up from school a couple of weeks ago. And, like, I didn't even know what to say. I was like, you know, I was in shock. And then I had to go wake up all my kids and call my kids and tell them. My 21-year-old son, he lives in Colorado, which is her biological brother. I called him. He wasn't answering the phone, so I knew he was asleep. And I had to text him. I was like, I need you to call me. It's really important. But my kids are and were devastated. Because none of us knew she was sick. And it was just a shock. And I still, right now, I don't know what happened exactly. I just know she got sick at school and the cancer had come back. And now she's not here. Her wake is this weekend, and her funeral. The funeral is scheduled for my son's birthday, and he does not want to go because he said he does not want to think about this every year on his birthday. And I understand. He said he feels like when he went to the hospital, their dad sent someone to pick him up, and he said he felt like he said his goodbyes to her at the hospital. And if you knew my son, you would know that's exactly what it is. He's not emotional. He doesn't make decisions based off emotions. And people are trying to tell him that he's going to regret it. He shouldn't do that. You know, and I told him, I was like, whatever decision you make, I'm going to support you. If you want to go, stay for a little bit and leave. But he doesn't want to do that at all. He was very upset when we found out. I have no say-so in her services and the planning. And I understand that he's hurting. But I feel like he's being very inconsiderate of all the people who loved her and actually had a life with her. Because he was minimally involved. By his own choice. By his own choice. And I was very angry the first day. When I texted my family and I told them, my brothers, my sister-in-law, and my cousin all took off work. My mom and my dad came, and they are devastated as well. Because like I said previously, this was their niece, their granddaughter, their cousin. I prayed the first day because on the way back from my grandson's appointment, I could feel how angry I was. So I prayed and I asked, I was driving and I was like, God, I need you to take this away from me. Create me a clean heart and renew this right spirit within me, because I do not want to be angry. When I got back home, everyone was there. Everybody was crying, you know, they were upset. They were worried about me and the kids. My children that don't live with me came to the house. Everybody was there. And I knew that day that I was shocked and angry, because I felt like he took that moment away from my children, because I feel like if he had to go get her, she did not have the flu. And I say that saying like this wasn't a minimal, like a cold. This girl had cancer. And if she had to be picked up from school where she could not attend school, then it was bad. And let's just say that, and I didn't feel like we were on bad terms. Let's just say she said, don't tell her. As a man, and he's a pastor, I feel like you should have told us. And even if you feel like you don't owe me anything, you should at very least have told your son. He called him the day before and said she was in the hospital, but did not tell his son that she was that bad. And I know Brittany. If she couldn't text and talk to people, she was that bad. So that's why I was mad. I was extremely upset. And then I had to be the one to deliver the news to my children and tell them that their sister was gone and break their hearts.